Welcome to the Saucetown Investor Podcast.
Back in 2017, I was living in Portland, Oregon, and was in the market for my first house. Despite working at a real estate investment company, I had never owned a piece of real estate in my life. There was this guy at my company, we'll call him Dan. Dan worked as an in-house accountant and had recently gotten his real estate license so that he could operate as a realtor on the side. One day during the work week, Dan and I slipped out of the office to go look at a few houses. Keep in mind, once again, I was a total rookie at the time. I barely knew how an interest rate on a mortgage worked. As we bounced from house to house, Dan spouted off ideas about floor plans, foundations, investment value, etc. I probably didn't even know what half the shit meant. My head was spinning, but I had Dan the expert at my disposal. Everything was going to be okay. Later in the day, I got back to the office and my boss was there. We will call him Ron. Ron was a killer real estate investor who had completed literally hundreds of transactions. I told him a bit about my day with Dan and all of the benefits and pitfalls of each house that Dan had pointed out to me. Ron took in everything, paused for a second, then goes, "Why would you listen to Dan?" I stopped in my tracks for a second. He wasn't being a dick or trying to talk shit about Dan. He was asking it in a very literal sense. What exactly made me so sure that Dan knew what he was talking about? He was right. Dan was an accountant who had gotten his real estate license a few weeks before. What the hell did he know? Ron went on to say, "Forget that. We are going to get you a house." And we did. I'll take this opportunity to tell all of my readers the following. Being a realtor does not make you an expert on real estate. There are good ones and bad ones, just like any other profession. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled podcast. I had the privilege of being on Ryan Marshall's Always a Saxon podcast a little while back. And he asked me a classic question. If you could give your high school self a piece of advice, what would it be? I didn't have to think about it for long. You should listen to fewer people. I'll say that again. You should listen to fewer people. This goes against a lot of what we are taught. There's this idea that we need to take advice from everyone, gather as much information as possible before taking action. Everyone is here to help me. If I get as much advice as possible, there's no way I'll make a mistake. The reality is that most people aren't qualified to give you advice, much like Dan in our story above. When someone is offering you advice, ask yourself the basic question. Why would I listen to insert name here? I went on to elaborate a bit on my answer to Ryan on the podcast. I'm a believer that you should have maybe 2 to 4 people who you can listen to. Think of it almost as your own mini board of directors. Anything beyond that creates information overload. Too many cooks in the kitchen, as they say. It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish. It could be building a business, starting a blog, becoming an actor, getting hired at a particular company, etc., etc. Whatever the goal is, you need to get advice from people who are qualified to give it. Namely, people who have done it themselves. This can mean ignoring the advice of people who you genuinely like or love. Going way back or being family does not make someone qualified to tell you how to do something. I'll note that it doesn't disqualify them either. The guy at the bar, your buddy with the Fortnite gold status, or your grumpy family member probably don't fit that mold. This becomes exponentially more true the bigger your goal is. People who have never done it themselves are going to be inclined to tell you why you can't do it. After all, if they haven't done it, then how on earth could someone else do it? I remember when I finally made the call to leave my job and go all in on my business. People gave me the token congrats, and then it was usually followed by some sort of concern/half-hearted piece of advice. Have you thought about X? What happens when Y occurs? Note that X and Y are always something bad. The great economist and author Nassim Taleb says, "Too many people offer advice without any skin in the game."
Hey guys, we're taking a quick break, but before we get back into it, if you're enjoying this episode,
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us to keep bringing you more valuable content. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, don't forget to leave a review. Please, it makes a huge difference. All right, let's get back to it. That's so good. Listen again. Too many people offer advice without any skin in the game. Think of your buddy who offers you a hot stock pick. Oh, so you must own a bunch of that stock yourself, right? Well, I'm thinking of buying some. Or the know-it-all family member telling you how to run your business, who has never started a business themselves. As Jay-Z said, everyone can tell you how to do it, they never did it. There are a million things that can go wrong with whatever you are trying to accomplish, and the world can't wait to tell you about all of them. Telling other people they can't do it under the guise of advice is often a coping mechanism for those who haven't done it themselves. The part they leave out is that there are a million and one things that can go right. Having trusted advisors or mentors can be an incredibly valuable asset in your life. Just know that most of the world has no business telling you what you can or can't do. Ask the question my boss asked me years ago. Why the hell would I listen to that guy? Can you come up with a good answer to that question? I sure as hell usually can't. That is a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Saucetown Investor. If you got value from this, drop us a comment and let us know your thoughts. Did you have a big takeaway? Is there a topic you want to see us cover next time? Is there a guest you want to see interviewed? DMs are open. Business is at Saucetown Properties, and my personal, you can DM me personally, is at The Real Matt Cox 4. We'd also like to ask you kindly to please like and subscribe. You can also follow along with the Saucetown Investor blog. That's mattcox444.substack.com. Thanks again, guys, and until next time, keep investing and stay saucy, Saucetown.